Hello everyone, my name is Genevieve Townsend. I am a painter and maker. I live in Eganville in the Ottawa Valley. I think what I'm going to do with this little video is just do a bit of an overview of the project, and then I can do individual ones for the embroidery, needle felting, and the fabric, and just kind of like focus in on those things. I don't think I'm going to do like exact techniques necessarily, especially for embroidery, stuff like that. It's really easy to go to the library and have books that show you like hundreds of different techniques that you can probably learn better than you could from me. But I think we'll just do an overview of things so you kind of have an idea, because most of you at this point have received your envelope or box with a few little goodies. Like if you signed up for fabric, needle felting, or embroidery, you receive some supplies for that, or you had the choice of using your own. And you can also do a combination as well. So if you feel like I did needle felting, but I would actually want to add some embroidery, add some beads, whatever, that is it's totally up to you. Anyway, so let me just talk about the envelope you receive. So it has a few different things in it. There are these little postcards, which is another little creative project from OVA Chaos for the pop-up art installations. So there's two of them, I believe, we put into your envelopes. So you can create your own image, mail that in, and be part of, again, another kind of collaborative art piece. I also did a little tips and instructions page to kind of give you an idea, because when you get your piece, you may or may not really know what it means, because it is a piece of over 50 8x10 portions, telling obviously a bigger story than what you see in your little part. Not all of the pieces maybe make sense. So I'll go into that later. Anyways, but the tips and instructions is kind of helpful just to give you a bit of an idea. Then we've got this beautiful page with a little bit more information on on the project and when it's due, which you have actually quite a lot of time. You have till, I guess, almost the end of September 2021. So gives you a lot of time to think about it, or maybe the winter is the best time and we need something fun to do, take our minds off, things that are going on in our world. Anyways, and then we also have a little reflection page, kind of give us some feedback about how you enjoyed this experience or not. Hopefully you do. Anyways, what do I want to say? I guess this is my first time designing something that's so large. It's going to be probably about maybe 6 by 7 feet ultimately, which is going to travel in the 3 kind of gallery spaces in not next year, but actually in 2022. It's hard to think ahead that far. And trying to make space for everyone to have their room for creativity, different textile mediums, and also have it be cohesive. And so again, we'll see. That's collaboration, and part of the excitement of it is just seeing what everyone will create. So at the end of when you do send those back to me, I will be sewing it or whatever is required to bring this piece together, and all of your pieces will kind of abut another collaborator's piece. So that's it, why there's certain parts of your design that's important. If it feeds through to an edge, it's going to move into another collaborator's piece. So that's kind of important to stay as on as you can in those areas. But other than that, I feel like you really can create. So the green that you see in most of these, either in the fabric or the felt, is the ground. Like it's when you look down at a map or you look down at our land and you see the fields, trees, all of that. So all of that green, you could, if you wanted to, leave it. You can leave that fabric the color and texture it is, or you could bring in more texture. You could embroider or needle felt, or using your fabric create trees. There is an overall design that is nature oriented and tree oriented. Depending what piece you have, you might be able to see that. And then there's also parts, probably most of the embroidery ones tend to be more of like a simpler image, and that tends to be the map aspect of this piece. So that's where if you have a lot of open space on your piece, the green, you can really put in detail if you want, like, or again, like, but we want to give you as much space to be creative as you want as well. If you get your piece and you open it and you're like, I'm not really sure how to start, obviously in regular times I would be doing open workshops where we could actually create and play together. You can ask questions and we can really collaborate and do things together. Obviously, the way things are right now, we can't. So I'm doing this little video, which again, my first time, so I'm doing my best. But again, you can always please call me. There's a phone number on your information sheet, or you can email me if you have questions. I am totally happy to answer any questions you have. What else do I want to say? Behind me is a cloak that was created for the OV Chaos fundraiser, I guess last year. And that is actually needle felting. So when you get your envelope, and if you're doing needle felting, you get this piece of felt and you're like, it's a little challenging to felt into a pre-existing piece of felt. Generally, it's usually a bit of a softer piece, but again, being in COVID times, it was a little harder, more challenging to find certain art supplies and within our budget. So, but that is how I did this one. So you can needle felt right into that felt that I've given you, or you can sew it too, because in this situation, I actually have 3D pieces that I've needle felted separately, and then I did sew them in and then needle felted them too. So there's a lot of room for creativity and trying things. I don't think there's any wrong way to go about things. The biggest thing is that I am gonna have to sew. Hopefully we'll be able to sew all of these pieces together. Some of you are creating things in even a different medium. I believe we have some lady who's doing leather work, and that is super exciting. So that's okay too. I mean, I have other tools. I am a crafty person, so I have lots of craft materials, and I will have ways to figure it out. But that's the idea, that extra bit of fabric on your edges, your extra bit of felt around the main image is that little extra I need to like bring all the pieces together. I think that's it. For now, I just want to thank you all for participating. It's really exciting. I'm very excited to find out, well, what you bring to the table, what you create with what I've created and what I've offered. Hopefully it's enough detail to have you know, some parameters where it makes sense, and also open enough that you really can use your creative juices and we can make something really, really interesting together. Yes, so thank you very much. We still have a few spaces left, so if you know of friends or even want to do another piece, because some of our creators are creating more than one piece, there are still some spaces. And yes, thank you very much. And the next videos will be a little bit more detail about each of the textiles that we have offered in the kits. Again, thank you very much.